This video is inspired by historical readers video and why I made this channel. Now, I went from the channel You Felt to Here, which I haven't been on in a while, to Yusuf Rayos, where I was going to be only, or at least mainly, political of my politics, and talking about the plight of, well, when I got on there talking about El Salvador 1981, the Cristero Wars, my particular political views, and then it drifted. So I figured, no, I'll keep that as that, and I came over and made this channel because this deals with just speaking the truth about history and facts that I have just what I have been educated in for the last 15 years and what I've actively studied, which is from the Hasmonean period to the mid-Byzantine period, specifically the early church and or early Christianity, same thing. Whether it's talking about Gnosticism, the various groups of Gnostics, Marcionism, the Arians, Nicaea, and I try not to show my beliefs on here one way or the other. I try to approach everything with a very critical, minimalist stance, because there are the mythicists out there, and it just, as a historian, pisses me off that they would deny such solid history. And I find that people don't know what, I mean, again, this tautology, people don't know what they don't know. People have no clue about the vast expanse of writing that exists outside of the canon. From the Didache and First Clement and Barnabas and Shepherd of Hermas, all the way through to Hippolytus and Origen, Clement of Alexandria, on up to Epiphanius. You know, I mean, it's the wealth that's there, and the archaeology. Now, minimalism in archaeology has been slapped down every time. So this, and I think this is what I'm going to be dealing with mainly, because this is what I'll contend with on YouTube, which is people either denying history, propaganda, going after propaganda, lies, and misinformation. Not essentially a theological channel. I would like to see you do something on the Spanish Inquisition, which is 99% myth of what has been known. It was a WASP, a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant English propaganda that was anti-Hispanic, anti-Latino, and anti-Catholic bigotry. That's known now, but it's still, quote-unquote, common knowledge that the Spanish Inquisition was this horrible thing that had to do with the Catholic Church being evil. And it was actually the exact opposite. It was the English pouring out those lies about the Spanish would be like the Nazis claiming that the Gypsies were exterminating Germans in gas chambers. That's how foolish it is. So I'd invite you to. That would be cool to hear you speak on that. But yeah, that's why I started this channel, because I see like the Gnostics. I mean, that was one of the first things when I came out here, when I went to John the Huck Weller, right? When I had that channel, people talking about Gnosticism and repeating crap that they read in the Da Vinci Code. It's like, no, the Gnostics believed the physical world was bad, created by the demiurge. That only the spiritual was good. They were, asexual. They were androgynous. They were harsh ascetics. They weren't pagan, and they weren't hippies. They were elitists. It wasn't, oh, God is in everybody. No, it was, we have the secret hidden knowledge, and it's only us. But yeah, that's the reason why that I kind of got off track, or elaborated a lot. Went too far down the track, I should say. But that's why I created this channel, to deal with just this stuff, the stuff that I passionately care about, history and the events that I had invested well over a decade. You could say, I usually say 15 years, but you could say 2 decades in. And then have somebody say, I read a book by a non-scholar, and you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, good. And these are people who haven't read primary sources, or don't even know what a primary source is, or haven't looked at textual evidence, or polygraphy, or archaeology, or radiocarbon dating, or anything like that. All right, peace to you.